Hi, I'm Claire from Inspiratrix Yoga. This is a core session. It's all about kind of connecting to and waking up your core through a series of floor-based exercises. All you need is your yoga mat, or if you're on a hard floor, maybe a couple of layers of yoga mat. Don't do anything that feels uncomfortable. Feel free to take the easy version or to skip something if something doesn't feel right for you today. Enjoy. Start lying on your back on your mat.
If you start on your back with your knees bent and just bring your left knee in towards your chest. Straighten out your right leg straight on the floor. Flex your right foot. And then do some circles with your left knee. So you could be holding onto your knee or you could be holding onto your thigh. Keep your right leg stable. And then you're moving your left thigh bone around in your hip socket. Just feeling into how your left hip socket is right now today. Cycle the other way as well. And through all these poses, feel for breathing deeply through your nose, breathing like smoothly and deeply as you release the tension and connect your hips and your core. Okay, great. Skip to the other side, release your left leg, bring your right knee in towards your chest, straighten out your left leg, and then either holding onto your right knee or your right thigh. Make some circles with your right knee so that your right femur, like your thigh bone, is moving in your right hip socket. As you do that, have your left leg really stable with your left foot flexed. So your left leg's not moving, but you are exploring what range of movement there is in your right. With slow, steady breaths. Circle the other way now. Okay, release your leg. Have both legs bent with the soles of your feet on the floor. Take your hands on your belly and take a couple of really easy breaths, connecting to a sense of your breath in your belly. Slow, smooth inhales and exhales. Great. Next thing, bend your left knee and bring it in towards your chest, and then straighten your left foot up towards the ceiling. If you want to, you could hold on to your left thigh. And then you could either keep your right leg bent, or you could straighten out your right leg on the floor and flex your right foot again. Reach up with the ball of your left foot towards the sky. Straightening your leg, but if it's a bit bent, that's okay. Now take some circles at your left ankle. So you're rotating at your left ankle, drawing circles in the air with your left toes. Going slowly with this, just feeling how your left ankle is right now. Rotate your foot the other way. Okay, now have your left foot still, but explore taking your whole left leg out to the left-hand side. So your right leg is still on the floor, the backs of your hips are still on the floor. You're taking your left leg to the left. Support your leg with your hand if that's helpful. And kind of imagine moving your left foot towards your left shoulder. Press down with your right thigh so your right leg stays super stable. Okay, bring your left leg back to the middle. Keep the backs of your hips on the floor, but take your left leg over to the right now. So keeping your left hip down so your leg won't go as far. Again, holding on to it if it feels helpful. Lengthen the outer leg away and slightly subtly shorten your left inner leg. Look, imagine the outside of your left leg lengthening and the inside of your left leg shortening. Or maybe you're actually doing that. Okay, inhale, bring your left leg to the center. Exhale, bend your left knee, bring your foot to the floor. Bend your other leg so both feet are on the floor, and then wiggle your hips. Just noticing any difference between your right and your left right now. Okay, then we'll change sides. So if you bring your right knee towards your chest and then straighten your right foot up in the air, holding onto your leg if that's helpful, and slightly reaching up with the ball of your right foot. Either keep your left leg bent, or if it feels fine in your back, straighten your left leg out on the floor and flex your left foot. Okay, then keeping your right leg still, rotate at your right ankle. So you're drawing circles in the air with your right foot. Feeling into your right ankle joint, how that is today. Moving really slowly with your foot. Circle your foot the other way. Okay, now keeping your right foot still, take your whole right leg out to the right-hand side. Kind of feeling for your right foot moving in the direction of your right shoulder. Don't go so far that your left hip lifts up. I want you to keep your left leg and your left hip down on the ground. Keep them kind of grounded and steady. And you can support your right leg with your hand if that feels helpful. Just going as far as feels useful right now. As in not sort of straining. Okay, inhale and bring your right leg back to the center. Exhale and take your right leg over to the left while still keeping your right hip down on the floor. Lengthen your inner right leg and shorten your outer right leg by pushing away with the inside of your right foot and by pulling the outside of your right foot, sort of kind of shortening that towards your hip. Okay, bring your leg back to the middle, bend your knee and bring your foot to the floor. Bend the other leg now. Stretch both arms out to the sides and slowly twist your knees from one side to the other. Going really slowly and tuning into that sense of your hip joints and also a sense of your knee joints and your ankle joints. Noticing how those joints are as you slowly, slowly twist from one side to the other. Breathing deeply and smoothly as you go. Okay, bring your knees back to the middle. Rest your hands on your belly again. Let's do some active belly contractions on the exhale. So if you inhale and expand your breath through your ribs, through your belly, through your hips. Then exhale and gather your belly in. Deliberately contracting your belly to help you breathe out. And also a sense of like waking up your core. So inhale, expansive breath. Exhale, actively gathering your belly in. Both the upper belly and the mid belly and the lower belly. Continue with that. Great. Now we'll add in an arm movement. So just inhale, bring your hands next to your hips. Exhale, gather your belly in. And at the same time, sweep your arms up in the air. Just your vertical. Inhale. Breath is expansive. Arms come back down. Have your hands and feet active. Exhale, gather your belly in. Arms come up. You can take your arms further if it doesn't result in your ribs thrusting up or your shoulders going scrunchy. Inhale, arms come back down. Continuing to play with that, staying with that sense of connection to your core. Feel for contracting your deep abdominals. Great. After that, just relax your arms. Next thing I'll do, lift your left foot up off the floor, have your knee bent. Take your left hand on the front of your left thigh. Your left leg is going to basically stay there, but we'll be doing various things to connect to the belly, and see if you can contract different parts of your abdominals as you do this. So inhale, let your belly be relaxed. Exhale, press your left hand into your left thigh. Subtly move your left shoulder towards your left hip and gather your belly in. Inhale, relax your belly and your core, but keep your leg where it is. Exhale, press your hand on your left thigh. Subtly shorten your left shoulder towards your left hip. Gather your belly in. Right leg's not really doing much here. Do 2 more of these. Great. Keep your left leg where it is, but now take your right hand and have it on your left thigh. So it's slightly different. Inhale, expanding your belly. Exhale, press your right hand and your right thigh against each other. Gather your belly in. Inhale, relax your belly. Keep your leg where it is. Exhale, press your hand and thigh together. Gather your belly in. Tracking where you feel this. 2 more of these. Great. Release your left foot down to the floor. Pick your right foot up off the floor. Okay, let's do the same side one first. So right hand on right thigh. Inhale, relax and expand your belly. Exhale, press your hand into your left thigh into your hand. Slightly shorten your right shoulder towards your right hip. Gather your belly in. Notice what you feel in your belly. Inhale, totally relax your belly, but keep your leg where it is. Exhale, press your right hand, right thigh together. Shorten right shoulder towards your right hip. Gather your belly in. Do 2 more. Okay, then change to the other side. So keep your right leg up, but now have your left hand on your right thigh. Inhale, letting your belly be relaxed. Exhale, push your left hand against your right thigh. Gather your belly in. And notice where you feel this. Inhale, soften that. Do 3 more just like that. After that round, bring your foot to the floor. Just take a moment or two, just breathing and connecting to your core. Sense of all the different layers of your core, the different ways in which your core can support you. Okay, let's do one more lying down abdominal. Take your left, so now take your left hand behind your head. Have your, actually both, actually for this one, you'll take both hands behind your head. So one more lying down exercise. Both hands behind your head. Have your left leg straight and right leg bent. Inhale. Feel your left leg active, your left foot flexed. Exhale, curl your head and shoulders up off the mat. Connect to the shortening in the front of your torso. Inhale, slow release of that back down to the floor. On exhale, you're lifting your head and shoulders. Legs are staying static, but feeling for contracting the front of your belly. Inhaling, releasing the front of your belly. So do 2 more like that on this side. After that round, change your legs. So have your left leg bent, right leg straight with the foot flexed. Press down with your right thigh. Inhale, feel where your belly and hips are on the mat. Exhale, gather your belly in, lift your head and shoulders up. Inhale, slow release your head and shoulders back down to the floor. Releasing in your abdomen slowly to come down. And then do 3 more like that. Make sure you totally relax in between each one. You're not like hovering in between. Really letting your weight come down and release into the mat. Great. Let's do 1 more set. If it feels okay to do so, you'll be doing this with both legs straight, feet flexed, lift your head and shoulders up. If that feels too strong, you could work with both legs bent. Okay, inhale, feel your feet flexed or actively pressing into the floor. Exhale, lift your head and shoulders up, contracting the front of your abdomen. Inhale, slow release back down to the floor. 3 more like this. Have a sense of lengthening as you come back down. Lengthening and releasing. After that round, bring your head to the floor, bend your knees, hold onto your knees and rock from side to side on your lower back. Turning into like a little ball, massaging your back by rocking from side to side. Okay, then roll onto one side and make your way onto your hands and knees. For this, we'll come into downward facing dog next. Take your socks off if you're wearing socks. And the option here will be to do downward facing dog and to lift one leg up. But if that doesn't feel okay today, then keep both feet on the floor and feel free to come down onto your knees whenever you need to. So just have your hands really solidly planted on the floor. Press down through each of your 10 knuckles. Inhale, slightly widen your shoulder blades. Relax your neck. Exhale, lift your knees up and come into downward facing dog. So have a moment in downward facing dog, feeling into the back of your legs, how the back of your legs are today. And if you want to lift up one leg, then lift one leg up and back. Reaching away with that leg really strongly in the air. Okay, change legs if you're doing the one leg thing. Bring your feet to the floor and then your knees to the floor. And then come into a wide-kneed child's pose. Take your knees wide, toes together, sink your hips towards your heels. And then either reach your arms forwards or make a pile with your forearms and rest your head on your forearms or rest your head on a block. Take some restful breaths here. Taking your breath into your back body and feeling for softening and relaxing any tension you might feel in your lower back or the back of your ribs. Then bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Lift up into a seated position.
Thank you for joining me for that core session. If you'd like to do some yoga with me again, I do teach regular classes that are available on Zoom or in Bethesda, North Wales. I also sometimes do workshops and retreats and yoga teacher trainings and those sorts of things. The best way to find out my current offering is to go to my website, inspiratrix.co.uk. If you want looking to establish a regular yoga practice, the best thing to do is to join my Inspiratrix Yoga membership. And if you're an online member, it costs just £19 a month, and you can even do live classes with me and access a whole vault of recordings for that. See you soon.